If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please consider hitting the like button. It really does help the video out, even if I don't deserve it because I'm terrible at video games. And if you want to follow me on Twitter for absolutely no reason, the link for that is down below. If you do need any coins, head over to u7buystore.com. Use the code TVM at checkout for a discount. The link is in the description. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the FM Road to Glory. I am still with Cumbraland Celtic. Honestly, I've given up trying to apply for jobs now. I went as low as the third tier of Spanish football, and I was still unsuccessful when even applying for an interview. So, not going to happen. We're going to have to make one big push here at Cumbraland Celtic to try and make European football. Of course, if I do make it into the European places and we have European football, we'll have another decision to make. Do we want to stay and play European football, or would we want to move to a club that likely don't have it? And I say likely. If we move from here, it will probably be into a Scottish Championship or even lower Premiership team. I say that as if we're going to get given the opportunity, but those are the type of positions I'd be looking at. You know, the second tier of Spanish football, or even German football, Italian football, the rest of it. I've got loads of leagues added, so I'm not short of options, but unfortunately, none of them want to sign me just yet. So what we're going to need to do, and I've already made a start here, as you can see. For some reason, it doesn't show the players that have gone. I think it's because I've released the majority of them on a free. So if you release them on a free, it doesn't count as a transfer out of the club, which kind of makes sense because they're not transferring to anywhere, they are just leaving. But it's a little bit annoying because you can't see who's gone, but there we are. I've brought in all these players, and I probably will bring in maybe one or two more as well. I have lost a lot of players. The contracts ran down. They didn't want to sign a new one. Brandon Griffiths was the main one. If you remember Brandon Griffiths, I've got him in as a striker and ended up playing him on the left-hand side. He was letting his contract run down. It expired on the 30th of June, just gone. It's the 10th of July right now. And I stripped him of the vice-captaincy because he was unwilling to sign a new contract. He was like, the club doesn't match my ambition, blah, blah, blah. So I gave the captaincy to a different player, removed the current captain, made him the vice-captain. Griffiths was the vice-captain. He's obviously, in my opinion, he was going. And then he came to me and he said, why have you taken the vice-captaincy off me? I'm like, mate, you're not even going to be here at the start of the season. What do you care? So we had a massive bust-up. A lot of people in the dressing room weren't happy about the way I handled the situation. Oh, this game. Anyway, I'm not going to run through every player in any great detail. They were all free transfers as they are down here. A lot of them, and I mean a lot of them, are on no money. Not even an appearance fee. They're on amateur contracts or non-contracts completely. So Oliver Davis came in as a free transfer. He's actually on £120 a week. I've just said, he's worth between 1 and 3k. We could sell him and make some money. The club could really do with some money right now. But he will replace Perry, who has been our goalkeeper for 2 seasons. Reason being, Perry's contract ran down, didn't want to sign a new one, so we had to go and get a different goalkeeper. I think he's better, and when I did a little comparison just before Perry left, he was actually better in everything apart from the aerial side of things, but it's not terrible for this level, so I'm happy. He's the most expensive player we've signed. Shaquille Winter-Coles was a player that I actually signed last season. But he wasn't joining until the summer. I completely forgot about it, and I went and signed another striker. A couple of the strikers have gone. Meechan is 32 now. He's starting to decline quite a lot because he wasn't brilliant to begin with. But Winter-Coles has great first touch and finishing. He's pretty good in the air, although he's not great jumping reach. But he's got a little bit of pace to him as well. So I think Winter-Coles and Orford up front could be pretty good this season. Moving on to Marcus Snell, who is primarily a left-back, but I don't think he's very good at a left-back, so I've put him into a centre-back position here, and he looks so much better. So when I found him, I was actually looking for left-backs, and I thought, he can play centre-back. He looks like he's a better centre-back than he is a left-back. I'll bring him in as a centre-back. He's got 15 acceleration as a centre-back, so yes, please. There is a reason for that. I'll have a little talk about that in a minute. Omar Taylor-Clark. This was the striker that I signed before I realised that Winter Coles was coming, because I completely forgot. There's so many players that go in and out in this league that you forget who's who and who belongs to who. I was looking for my central defensive midfield player for about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I lost track of time. I could not find him. Turns out he'd gone. He'd signed for someone else. I'd missed it. He was like my main CDM, gone. So, you know, it's just really difficult to keep track. But Taylor-Clark comes in as another striker. He's 19. I would imagine he's probably going to be, not currently, going to be better than Winter Coles. But at the moment, I think he could be a player that just comes in every now and again. He's better in the air, he's got good pace, and he's got better finishing, but I think all round, maybe not quite as good as Winter Coles, but I would definitely be testing them both out. They are both right-footed, so they're going to have to take it in turns. Warren Hudson comes in as a centre-back, great tackling, not great on marking, but decent heading, and that pace as well. I've upped my pace this year for defenders. He's 31, so his pace will drop over the season, no doubt, but I've gone from having like 5 and 8 and 10 pace for my defenders max to now bringing in 13, 14, 15 acceleration players, which should stop the ball going over the top as much as it does, because that is the main way we concede here. Moving back down the list to Billy Hawthorne, on no money, can play both sides, and he can play left mid if we need him. But look at that crossing, and look at that acceleration. I could not care less about any of the other stats, although to be fair, he's like bravery is really good. His dribbling is actually very good. Passing is there as well. He's only 18. He's not on a contract. He wasn't willing to sign an actual contract. He wanted to come in contractless. So he doesn't get any money whatsoever. I did offer him like 30, 40 quid a week on a part-time contract. Wasn't interested. Wanted the zero for some reason. I'm guessing he just wants to be able to leave, and I'm guessing he will. I don't think we will keep him for the remainder of the season. I think he'll probably end up going to someone like TNS. But he looks like a very good player. Who else do we have? Sam Edwards on the other side. He, again, looks like a very good player. Only 18 years of age. Once again, didn't want to sign a part-time contract, so had to just get him in any way possible. But his work rate and his teamwork, fantastic. He's not slow, but he's not quick either. But he has some decent crossing. His passing's okay. I like him. Good decision-making. Could be very good from that left-hand side. Yes, please. That's where Griffiths was, of course. He's gone, so we needed to replace him, and here comes Sam Edwards. Kyle McCarthy and Ewan Jones are the last two, so these are the new fullbacks. Kieran Evans is still at the club. He's the left-back, but he's not as good as this guy, who has good tackling, someone who can now take penalties, which is nice. Decent work rate for a player of this level. He's 30 years of age, so he's not going to improve, but not bad. And finally, Ewan Jones, the most Welsh name since my name, but he's English. Don't understand that at all. He's 21 as well, so he is a real player. He must have been born in Wales or have Welsh parents or both and decided to be English for whatever reason. But either way, decent little crosser. Accelerations is okay. His pace isn't terrible either. And good tackling as well. That's the one thing that both of my current fullbacks, Andrews and Evans, don't have. And that is the ability to cross the ball and defend. They have one or the other. They don't have both. These have both. So there are my there are my 22 new signings. The team, did I sign any more before I started this? No. So the team looks like this. It's very, very changed. The back four, brand new. The goalkeeper, brand new. The only two players that remain actually in like solidarity with each other is McGrath and Solanke, who are in the midfield. Now, Thomas used to play here, so I am looking at bringing in a replacement or a backup to McGrath. If I can get someone better, then I will. But McGrath is actually pretty good, tackling and passing, work rate, acceleration, and so on. He is actually pretty good. So it's going to be difficult to replace him with someone better. Solanke, again, equally well-rounded, and I don't think I'll be replacing him, but I will be looking to bring someone in who is of equal standard. James Reese is the other player that we have, of course, 17. Great passer of the ball, really good teamwork and work rate, but doesn't have an awful lot else going for him. But he will be in rotation with Solanke this season. And we still have Mbom, who is the Scot on the right. Now, he's not that great. He's on a lot of money. But I think he's one of these players who will improve. I just need to keep giving him game time. The problem with that is I now have a better right wing. But he will play a fair bit. He's going to be in heavy rotation. And, of course, Orford remains up front next to, at the moment, Winter Coles, who is... Yeah, he's definitely right-footed. Just got to make sure. But, like I said, he will rotate Winter Coles with Taylor Clark to see who is the better player. And Lucas Gallagher's still there. He's left-footed. He can replace Orford or come in as a backup. And, yeah, there we go. A lot of players have gone, but we do have very, very good replacements. I will be surprised if this season we don't push that top 3. Last season, we finished 5th. I didn't show you the league table because we went into that really stupid breakdown thing. We actually had a playoff. Didn't show you because I thought I'd play the first game. If we get through it, I'll come back for another episode. Didn't happen, so we're in season 3 now. But we had a playoff for European football. So I didn't actually know this happened. I pay fairly close attention to Welsh football in real life, but as the team I look at more than any team is Cumbrae Celtic, and they're in the second tier in real life. I don't really see this whole playoff for European football thing and the split and all the rest of it. So all that is relatively new to me, I guess. Well, I say that the split isn't new. But the playoff for European football is not something that I've seen before. Maybe it's just come in because of the Conference 2. I'm not sure. Either way, I forgot it happened. It happened. We lost to Bala Town. Yeah. We went 3-0 up as well. In fact, I don't know if I can show you the state of this, by the way. We went 3-0 up and I thought, we're through. We're going to play... I think it was Aberystwyth we were played in the final. Had we beaten them, we would have had European football of some degree, and then we would have had some real big pulling power and maybe some extra money come in as well. But having gone 3-0 up, they beat us 4-3 in regulation time. 2 stoppage time goals just sinking us. And when it went 3-2, I started time wasting. We were on the cosh, we were under the cosh. We were just getting absolutely slapped. So the only thing I could do was really try and shut them down. I brought on another defender, started wasting time. They were getting frustrated, and then they scored a set piece. It was 3-3, and we just went back to normal, and then they scored from another set piece. So, it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to this season. I wanted to leave. I applied for... honestly, you do not understand how many jobs I've applied for, and it hasn't worked. None of them have come in. None of them have said, yes, come in for an interview. So, screw them. We're going to stay here. We're going to challenge for European football. We're going to put the Frighteners on TNS for the first maybe 6 weeks of the league before we fall away. And then hopefully I get noticed by another club and we get an interview at some point. Like I said, I'm not against leaving mid-season. I would rather not, but I am not against it. If I was going to leave, maybe January would be the time. Any other time, maybe I think I'll wait. But we'll see what happens. Let's dive in to the first game of the season. I apologise for the lighting in the room. Maybe it's too bright, maybe it's too dark, maybe that's too low. Don't know. Anyway, we're about to start the season. I have played all the friendlies. Well, I say played. I have been through the friendlies, and I have played a cup game against a team who were, I think, a lot lower than we were. Comfortably won. Actually got a player sent off in that game. More signings to speak of. Hughes has come in. Caleb Hughes. Where did he come from? Came from Barry Town on a free. Only played twice for them last season. Must have come in right at the end. But he's come in. I mean, he's good. I don't know if he's better than our current CDM. But I've kind of lost all my central midfield players. So I needed someone who could come in. And I've also signed Charlie Williams, who is definitely going to be competing for that starting 11 spot in the centre of midfield. Very good long shots and first touch. Leadership, determination, decision making. Doesn't have an awful lot in the way of physical. And a few other things definitely a little bit questionable. But that vision and that passing could be the difference in some games. Solanke will play initially to start things off. He's having a bit of a turbulent time in training. A lot of my players go from being like the best trained player that week to the worst the next week. I'm not quite sure why, but Rhys McGrath is the player who is that sort of half sort of CDM kind of player. He will and will not play in the midfield. It's going to be a heavy rotation between everyone who's currently playing. But we're going to get into the game against newly promoted, I think, Flint Town. I've no idea where Flint Town is in Wales. I should know, but I don't. They have Smythe Ferguson, who I released. Obviously, we brought in Winter Coles, and on the bench I've got Taylor Clark. We didn't need Smythe Ferguson anymore. He's on quite a lot of money as well, like 120 something a week. And I decided, don't need him, waste of money. He won't play. We have Meechan, we have Orford. Even if we have 3 or 4 injuries, we've still probably got one fit striker, and then I could potentially go and buy another one. So we don't need him. I'll get rid of him because it's just a drain on the wage. And he's gone and joined newly promoted Flint. So that's interesting. Ball played over the top from Hughes. Orford is there, takes it around the keeper, and that is a goal. It will count. 17 minutes in, we are 1-0 up. Now this is a brand new team, essentially. I don't think we've got many players that were in the team last season. Hughes, of course, is new. Orford came in last season. Andrews, who had the initial pass, is my old right back, who is only playing due to an injury. We've got a new goalkeeper. The complete back line is new. The complete midfield is new. The attackers are basically all new. It is a new team. And it's not through choice necessarily, although I have used the situation to my advantage. So a lot of players have gone out of the club. They've just left. I've released a lot on a free, and I've had a big clear out of players who I don't think are quite good enough, and I've gone and signed better players. So if we don't compete for European football this year, something has gone wrong. Warren Hudson with a goal to make it 2-0 on the 23rd minute. Now this is a team, like I said earlier, I'm fully expecting to beat, and comfortably. So the fact that I'm not reacting to certain goals going in gives you some indication of the sort of expectations I have. Now, Evans at left back, you just saw him, Kieran Evans, is the left back from last season. So both brand new fullbacks who have come in are not playing. One was injured, and I think I forgot to change the other because I played a cup game, bit of rotation. Ball comes in here, great challenge, but Godfrey has gone down under the challenge of Andrews. He was absolutely nowhere near him, and he's taken him down anyway. So my old goalkeeper was a good penalty shot stopper. New goalkeeper, maybe not so much. Josh Godfrey opens his account for the season, and he brings the game back to 2-1. Goalkeeper went the wrong way. We are currently top of the table on goal difference, I think. Maybe not now that TNS have just scored. Although we've got more goals for, so potentially, I'm not sure. Connor's Key should be top, actually. Anyway, corner comes in. We can't rest on our laurels because one more goal from Flint and we've thrown the game completely. And it is the first game of the season, so going top of the table means absolutely sod all. We can start judging it around the time of the split. I know a lot of people wanted me to move, and honestly, to freshen it up a little bit, I wanted to move as well. I could not fabricate a move. The only teams that were willing to listen were other teams in the Welsh League, which obviously didn't make any sense to me, because the only other team in the Welsh League that I would even remotely consider joining would be TNS. And TNS very rarely change manager because they never have a dip in form. Kieran Evans needs to come off. Garrett or Fleming? No, Fleming can't, but Garrett can come on, so he will. Do I need to make another change? Maybe not just yet. We'll continue playing. Still 2-1 up. Might go positive here because I think we're probably better than... I mean, it's a fairly even game, but I do think we are the better team. I'm going to take Winter Coles off and I'm going to bring Taylor Clark on. Might have to start calling him Coles because Winter Coles just cracks me up. Caleb Hughes. I'm going to bring on Reece McGrath. Experienced in there for us. Knows what he's doing. It's kind of what experience means, I guess. And there we are. 2-1 win would be nice. I'm not expecting massive amount of goals this season in any game. And I'm not... I just want 3 points. I don't care how convincing the victory is either. Andrews and Snell at the back. Snell is that makeshift left back who is playing centre back. Who, I mean, he's natural there, to be fair. So we're not playing him out of position necessarily, but he is a preferred left back. Hudson has gone through the back of a defender, an attacker, and has been sent off. And I've used all 3 subs. I look calm. On the inside, I am seething. I know one of these, yeah, McGrath can play there. Solanke can play there as well. Question. Kind of, you know. I'll take it. I think Hawthorne can play left mid. Orford can play kind of there. And yeah, there we go. So that makes no sense, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let's go anchor. So after a long period of fiddling with this and leaving the house and coming back in about 4 hours, we're ready to finish the last 6 minutes of this second half with 10 men. I've realised that Garrett can play centre-back, so I've brought him over from the left-back spot. McGrath and Solanke are going to play as those sort of, I don't know, secondary centre-backs almost with how deep they are. And I'm kind of going to hope that this is enough to take us over the line. We are going to time waste and we are going to pass as short as possible. I'm not going to work the ball into the box. If a gap opens, they're going to go for it. But let's hope that we can survive 5 minutes. We have a corner. Edwards whips it in. Orford fails to put it home twice and Owen gets it clear. But a good challenge from Solanke means that the ball's going to fall to one of our players. We might have just got away with one there because they could have broke on us. They didn't. And we... minute left. My cat has gone behind my monitor, which means all kinds of chaos. And is he going to take this or what? Oh, he went for goal. Orford's there. Oh, it counted. So we've beaten them 3-1, providing they don't score from kickoff. And we had 10 men. I'm very pleased with the outcome of that. It took him an unbelievable amount of time to actually kick it. And the 2 original players, Edwards... Wait, was it Edwards? Don't know my own team. Well, it's not going to count as an assist, but okay then. So, Orford, the original player, and Hudson, a new sign-in. My monitor is going crazy because my cat will not leave me alone. She's stuck behind the monitor, I think. You don't need to know this, but I'm telling you anyway. So we are now in second. Cardiff Met Uni, who I'm pretty sure were relegated. No, they weren't. Were they? They were in the bottom half. I don't think they were relegated. I'm going to go have a look. It's been a long time, actually, since last season. So Cardiff Met Uni, no, they were in the split. I kind of forget because that split actually took me quite a long time to do. So in the split, they were dropped into that. So the only team that has come up, as far as I'm aware, is Flint, who we've just beaten. And I think, did Swansea Uni come up as well? Because they weren't in it last season. Yeah, Swansea Uni came up as well. So there we go. We'll have to play them because we played them in the first season. But I am going to skip forward quite a long way here. We play TNS next, which is really irritating because that would be a game I wouldn't mind showing you. I haven't showed you us playing TNS yet. So what I'll do is I'll come back for this game right here on the 28th of October. And we'll see where we are, whether we can actually challenge for this title or at least European football. If you have enjoyed this video, do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.